Okay, we have Cayley-Hamilton theorem, which is not officially there maybe in the syllabus for mains or advanced, but it is quite useful. So sometime we discussed about a 2 by 2 matrix, how it will satisfy a quadratic equation, and based on that, what is the inverse and all, how the sum of the roots of that is the trace and the product is the determinant. Similarly, let us say for 3 by 3 matrix, what will happen actually? You take a matrix A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, H, I. Let us try to find A minus Xi, det of that. First of all, what is A minus Xi? A minus Xi means it will be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. Minus X times identity matrix is X0, 0, 0, X0, 0, 0, X. Now subtract and take the determinant. Det of A minus Xi is equal to, you will get A minus X, B, C, D, E minus X, F, G, H, and I minus X. Okay, determinants. Let us expand this. What will come? A minus X. I won't explain diagonally, but you can explain anyway. Okay, A minus X into E minus X into I minus X plus B, F, G plus C, D, H minus CG into E minus X minus FH into A minus X and minus BD into I minus. When I expand this, I will get minus X cube, minus X into X cube. When I take X square, this into this, I'll get X square coefficient as A plus E plus I, and nowhere else X square is there. But coming to X in this, I will get minus X into EI. So I will get minus X into AE plus EI plus IA. But we also have X here, X here, X here. So we are also going to get minus X into, plus X into CG plus FH plus PD. And long constant. What is the constant? Here AEI, here BFG, here CDH, here minus CGE, minus FHA, minus BD. If you actually carefully notice, this is actually the trace of the matrix. This is actually the determinant of the matrix. Okay. But anyway, let me write this. Minus X cube. I will take minus common. Let us say if I take det of A minus Xi equal to 0. What is the equation that I am going to get? Okay, it is not visible here. So I'll just. Okay. So if I take det of A minus Xi equal to 0, multiply with minus, it is going to give me X cube minus a plus e plus I into x square plus x into ae plus ei plus ia minus cg plus fh plus bd. This whole thing is that, so minus aei plus bfg plus cdh minus cge minus fha minus bda equal to 0. It is basically x cube minus x square into trace of a plus x into that only ae plus ei plus ia minus cg plus fh plus bd. What we get is minus dat a equal to 0. So every 3x3 matrix will have a characteristic equation, that is dat of a minus x equal to 0. That is this equation. And Cayley-Hamilton theorem says matrix A satisfies this. So when I substitute matrix A in this, I will get a cube minus a square into trace of a plus a into some constant. So this whole thing I call it as k for the time being, minus dat a equal to 0. So every matrix will satisfy a cubic equation. And always from this equation, you will get sum of roots is equal to trace of e, and product of roots equal to negative of this, which is dat e. X square, of course, x quotient will give you all the two things. But if you want to see what is the pattern here, just to have an idea, A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, H, I. These three, you take the product of these two, product of these two, product of this. That is this. And what is this? CG, this into this. FH, this into this. And BG, this into this. The negative of that. Sometimes you may find some questions. Let us say for some matrix A, let us say there is a particular matrix A which gave you an equation that a cube minus 6a square plus some 9a minus 20 equal to 20i is equal to 0. You should take here dat a into I, of course, when you're not here. Okay, because when you're substituting a matrix in a polynomial, constant we take constant into I. Okay. So now when somebody gives you this, multiply the A inverse, it is going to become a square minus 6a plus 9 identity matrix minus 20 A inverse is null matrix. So you cannot see that. Anyway, this is a general one. Then I'll come back to this question, one question, and see. So now in this 24th question, they gave a is equal to 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, minus 1, 3, 0, k, and they said this matrix should satisfy a cubic equation f of x is equal to x cube minus 2x square minus alpha x plus beta, and they are asking what is k plus beta. This is matrix A, this is f of x, they said f of a equal to null matrix, and what is k plus beta is the question. If a 3x3 matrix satisfies this, I told sum of the roots should be trace. So sum of roots is equal to trace of a. What is sum of the roots here? 2. But what is the trace? 1 plus 2 plus k. From that I'll get k equal to minus 1. After that, if I want alpha, I have to really find this equation or do some calculation. But if I want beta, product of roots, okay, which is equal to minus beta, should be same as det A. So, you know, k value is minus 1. You can try to find this determinant 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, minus 1, and 3, 0, minus 1. I can directly expand or try to get 1 or 2 zeros here and there. That's also okay. Small thing, that may expand 1 into minus 2. Minus 2 into minus 2 plus 3 is 1. Plus 3 into 0 minus 6. So minus 2 minus 18 is minus 22. So beta is plus 22. So k plus beta. K is minus 1, beta is plus 22. Maybe it is 21. Yeah, answer is 21. You can see here. Yeah. So this is just one example of that. Okay. Just a little more I want to tell about matrices and determinants. Okay. Whenever AB product is null matrix, everybody knows, okay, it is implies not necessary that A should be null matrix or B should be null matrix. One should not think one of them must be null matrix. Okay. So I want to write few points. First point, AB equal to null matrix need not imply that A equal to null matrix or B equal to null matrix. Okay. Same statement. It is possible that A is not equal to 0, B is not equal to null matrix, but AB equal to null matrix. Okay, basically both carry the same. But one thing for sure, if AB equal to null matrix, then det of AB should be 0, which implies that A is 0 or that B is 0. Both can be 0 also. Okay. Now, very important point. Let us say det A is not equal to 0, but det B equal to 0. And also AB equal to null matrix. When AB is null matrix, one of the det should be 0. What if det B is 0? What happens? Not just det B is 0. Okay, let me write even this. Det A is 0 and AB equal to null matrix. I can definitely conclude that B must be 0. And not just that B is 0, I can even tell B must be null matrix. Why? Because that A is not equal to null matrix, you can multiply, not equal to 0, you can multiply with A inverse. Okay, so A inverse into AB equal to A inverse into null matrix. Okay, this is identity matrix. So I into B is null matrix. So you will get B equal to null matrix. So when AB is null matrix, I can prove that B must be null matrix, provided if you know that A not equal to 0. Okay, almost same statement is this. AB equal to 0, okay, and B should not be null matrix. If you want that, then that A should be 0. Okay, if somebody says AB is null matrix, but B should not be null matrix, then that A must be 0. Because if that A not equal to 0, we already proved that B is null matrix, right? Almost same thing. Dat B not equal to 0, but AB is null matrix, then definitely that A should be 0, and not only that, A will be null matrix. Maybe I can write 6 point on the top. Okay, I should have, this is 6. Okay, I should have written 7th point here. Okay. What is this? Almost like this only, that if somebody gives you AB equal to null matrix, no, I haven't read this, right? Okay. AB equal to null matrix and A should not be null matrix. Okay. Then that B must be 0. Because here I can even write the proof. How did I get A null matrix? I can multiply B inverse on both sides. AB B inverse equal to null matrix into B inverse. That is A into identity matrix is null matrix, and then I'll get A equal to null matrix. Okay, so if that be not 0 and this is 0 null matrix, definitely A will be null matrix. Okay, so if you want AB should be null matrix but A should not be null matrix, means definitely that B should be 0. Okay, so we have few questions based on this. I can discuss something like this. Okay, just 2 minutes. Okay, I'm erasing all this. Okay, anyway, one ninth point related to this is if that A is 0, that B is 0, and AB is null matrix, okay, then A or B need not be null matrix. If both dates are 0 and AB is null matrix, we cannot multiply A inverse because A inverse doesn't exist. We cannot multiply B because B inverse doesn't exist. So when that A and that B both are 0, neither A nor B may be null matrix but need not be null matrix. Okay, so there are many questions of this sort. For example, they may, let us say, give you A square equal to I. This is just a question only. A square equal to I means A minus I into A plus I is null matrix. So based on what we discussed, first point, det of A minus I into det of A plus I is definitely 0. Second point, if det of A minus I is not equal to 0, okay, then I can multiply the inverse of this. Then it will become A plus I must be null matrix. A must be minus I only, nothing else. Okay, almost same as that. If you want A should not be minus I, if you don't want this also should not happen. So det of A minus I must be 0. Okay, and those who know about further, P implies Q is same as negation Q implies negation P. Is that also? Okay, somebody learning for first time, don't worry about negation. Okay, if you don't want A to be my negative identity matrix, that must be 0, provided this is given to you. Okay, this is given to us. Third point, if det of A plus I is not equal to 0, if this det is not equal to 0, I can multiply the inverse of that, then definitely A minus I will be null matrix and A will be identity matrix. And then if somebody says this is correct, but A is not equal to identity matrix, then this must be 0. Det of A plus I must be 0. Because if it is not 0, delta plus a plus I, this is not equal to 0, I want to write, sorry. And this is not 0, I multiply the inverse, I got this. Okay. If you don't want this, this also should not happen. So det of a plus I must be 0. And finally, if det of a plus I and det of a minus I both are 0, then a need not be I or minus I. That means neither this should be null matrix nor this should be null matrix. There are a lot of other matrices, okay, where a square equal to I. For all of them, det of a plus I and det of a minus I both are 0, not just one of them. Okay, I can give a lot of examples where square of a matrix is identity matrix, but for all of them, det of a plus I is 0 and also det of a minus I is 0. This is a consequence of what is that we discussed. I can even use Cayley-Hamilton theorem here also. Let me just 1 minute. Okay. Just for the same question, if I want to do like this, that a not equal to I and a not equal to minus I, but a square equal to I, but a square equal to I, let us say, this is given to us. I know that a square minus a plus d into a plus det a into I will be 0. If something will satisfy this. If I compare this and this, I should get a trace 0 and det of a should come minus 1. Okay, if I compare a square equal to I, which implies a square minus I is equal to null matrix, when I compare a plus d should be 0 and det of a must be minus 1. I think there are a lot of matrices satisfying this, but for all of them other than I and minus I, trace should be 0 and det should be minus 1. Even that I can conclude. Yeah, I'm not giving all details of this, but it is some another angle to look at it.